Hey yo yo, check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the Swordcast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the Swordcast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the Swordcast.
Right. Welcome to the Swordcast.
Welcome to the Swordcast, man. First of all, man, I just want to say that I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you.
I love you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. We might as well just off top, I put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram. We celebrate the passing of my late great father, who passed in his home this past weekend, not COVID related. And obviously it's a shock anytime you lose a parent, anytime you lose a loved one that close is tough, but he was loved, right? I've been talking to a lot of my family. I've been talking to a lot of people all day. And I've had a lot of time to think about how I'm sort of reacting to it. And really what it is, bro, like I had a great relationship with my father, like, and I love the fact that I was able to share some of my stories about him on the pod. There was somebody on our Twitter or on my Instagram that identified him as the real life Arnold Schwarzenegger from.
I love that from Jingle All the Way.
From Jingle All the Way, right? So I'm glad that I was
Nintendo 64 story.
Dog, that's one of the great Christmas stories of all time. So I'm glad that I was able to share some of those stories, and y'all got to kind of get a secondhand idea of what kind of man he was. And so I had a great relationship. I was able to talk to him all the time, even though he was distant. We lived in different places. But I was able to tell him frequently, how much I loved him, how proud I was to be his son. And so I don't have any regrets. I don't have anything left behind on that. So I feel good about that, and I feel that the transition of him being, of our relationship being one where he was physically here to one where he's with me here, closer than he has ever been. That's a transition that I can make, and we'll be all right. But I've got hella support from y'all, from my family, from my music family, from Nav, from the whole everybody. So it's been good, and I've been in good spirits, and we're gonna move forward. So shout out to the late great Dr. Perry Alonzo Hall. Rest in peace, Dad. We love you.
Yeah, man, and I don't want to stay on it and keep it in your head right now. But just I had talked to you earlier, man, and you just this situation kind of inspired me to reach out to my dad. Me and my dad don't have the best relationship, and this just really made me kind of try to reach out and fix some things, because obviously it's life's short and it's just not worth it's not worth it, the grudge. So
yeah, man, not at all. So shout out to fathers everywhere. Also, a lot of y'all might be wondering, like, hey, if it just happened, why are you even doing this? And the reason why is because, like I said, this will be a slow grind, right? Like, this will be a slow processing. And what is helpful in these moments is the normalcy, right? Like kicking back with your homies, with your brothers, with your family, and like enjoying life, right? Like, he wouldn't want me to sit back and be mopey and not live my life. So this is one of the things that I do to decompress. This is one of the things that I do to cheer up and to be in a good space around good people. We about to play some Smash after this. I'm about to beat the dog shit out these niggas. So yeah, I'm good, man. And I think this is healthy for me to move forward and have some normalcy in my life. And keep on creating too, bro. Like the music that I'm about to make now, with some emotional, you know what I'm saying, some loving memory. This shit about to be fire. So I'm excited for the opportunity, and you know, it's good. We're all good. So Novelist just went
My bad.
someplace.
My bad. My phone died, but yeah, man. And that's good to hear, man. And I'm glad that you are, going to use it to fuel some creativity, man. Because like you said, times like these do lead to, creative explosions and discovering new things and things like that. So.
Yeah, man, we're all good though. But yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to shed some light and lift up my my dad one more good time. Also, well, we were about to have a rare Richard Parker sighting.
Yeah, his cat has a human name, by the way.
Yeah. Anyways, and that's about as close as we're gonna
get. Hey, you remember that movie Signs?
Yeah.
That Richard Parker sighting was like the alien past the screen in that movie.
Right, bro.
Remember how scary that was?
The one thing I remember about that movie, this is such a random observation, but the one thing I remember about that movie is Joaquin Phoenix. There was a scene where like they were all sitting on the couch. That
was him.
That was him. Yeah, that was a young Joaquin Phoenix. And there was a moment where they like showed the CNN video of like somebody who caught the alien at a birthday party. And I remember
that was the part that I'm talking about. Right. Mad scary.
Bro, Joaquin Phoenix's reaction to that was so genuine. This nigga said, he was terrified, dog. I was like, yo, dog, if that's the most realistic reaction ever.
In a movie, yeah, definitely. He was like
shook. Like, what the fuck was
that? Yeah, that was a classic reaction.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. This is what episode
33, episode Grant Hill.
Episode Larry Bird.
That's a good one. Episode Alonzo Mourning, I think, was number 33.
Episode Scottie Pippen.
Hey, okay. Episode, I'm sure there was some version of Shaq that was number 33.
No, I think he was. I think when he was on Phoenix or something,
or like the Heat, maybe. Or no, he was 32 with the Heat, I think. Bro, is it true that Shaq has his number retired in like 4 different places?
Yeah, it is. I think a lot of people forget that towards the end of his career, he was just like hopping on the vest.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just straight up like merc. He was a mercenary.
He was just hopping on all the good teams. Episode Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's a huge one. Episode James Worthy. Is he number 30?
I thought he was 42.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. And so
I think AC Green might have been 33, but I don't know though. Remember we found out he played in the league for like 30 years.
Bro, this nigga played until like 2012 or something. Some absurdly long time. I think he played literally to like 2005 or something like that.
I remember when we were talking about Kobe and Eddie Jones, right? And then I was like, yeah, AC Green was on that team. And you were like, no, he wasn't. I was like, bro, yes, he was. And you were like, bro, AC Green played. You were like, your exact answer was, bro, AC Green played with Magic Johnson. I
know. AC Green, dog, he was in the league since before I was born, dog. And this nigga played till like 2005. But here's the best part about that is that was like not even he played like, so once we realized that he was still on the team with Kobe and Eddie Griffin, he played like another 7 seasons after that. Hold on, dog, I'm about to look that shit up. We need to know for sure.
Yeah, bro. AC Green, man. That dude played in the league forever, and he played in like he transited transcended like 2 generations. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga played from 1985 to 2001.
Dude played in 3 decades.
And that's hilarious, bro.
That's impossible.
And again, even though people like KG played longer, it just for KG, like, I don't know, it feels different for some reason with this, because
he came out of high school too, though.
It came out of high school. Also, KG, like, he kind of played in an era where the game, like the late '90s up until the like the early 2000 teens is when he played, and that was it was like a similar generation of basketball, because I think in the post Jordan era, the post '90s era, there's a real like clear difference between how the game was played, how the game looked, how people wore their shorts. Everything was different after Jordan. But AC Green played like 10 years before Jordan and like 10 years or 3 years after he retired. So it's just like, bro, he transitioned 2 different eras of basketball, 2 different styles of game. So
he was there for it all.
Clearly
all the change. Episode Tony Dorsett, I think he was 33. He's a running back. He's the running back that had like the first 99-yard touchdown run. And who was that against? I remember that. Who was that against?
I'm sure
Vikings.
Oh, I was about to say it sounds like something that would happen to the Lions.
No, it happened to the Vikings, of course, but you know.
Oh, dog, hold on, man. One of the nigga Patrick Ewing, number 33.
Patrick Ewing, yeah, number 33, man. I'm sure there's a ton more, but that was a pretty elaborate sports.
Uh-oh. Did we lose you? Technical difficulties.
Hero, you there?
Oh, boom. Back.
Oh, there we go. All right,
yo, you were just stuck like.
Oh, that was me?
I was stuck?
Yeah, you were stuck too, so.
Okay, no, you was getting ready to make a flaming hot take. You were just like, and it just.
That's a J. Jonah Jameson finger.
Right. You find that wall crawler.
There's a Vince McMahon joke in there somewhere. I don't know where it is though.
Right. You're fired. Nigger. Nigger.
That was it.
Racism.
That was it. Racism.
Right.
Spider-Man. He's got to be black. He's going against the police.
Right. He's a Mexican, probably. You get that Spider-Man web crawling beaner stealing all our jobs.
We're going to call ICE on him. And then we're going to sign him to a contract so he can job to Brock Lesnar.
Or no, Randy Savage. You remember him from the video or from the movie?
Bro, yes. So
yeah, man. What we got on deck for today?
So we got a lot of things on deck. You know what I'm saying? Gonna talk about. Our top 5 later is pretty tough, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Covers a vast worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like one of few that we've done where there's no restriction on what universe these people come from.
Yeah.
But before we do all that, Clone Wars, man. All my Star Wars fans out there, if you have not been watching Clone Wars on Disney Plus, man, the last season, you got to watch it. I'm sure you don't have anything else to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you guys got to get caught up on Clone Wars. We're both caught up now. It started slow like it always does. And yeah. And
look, bro, we'll get to it in a second. Obviously, the last episode was fantastic, but it almost made me dislike. That last episode was so good that it made me dislike the first 6 even more, or the first 2 episodes. I think the Bad Batch arc was all right, and I love Ahsoka. I love the representation, and I got my my overstanding hat on so I can appropriately. Right. Well,
the Cyclops eyes.
right. So I love the representation of the brown women. They were clearly meant to be Hispanic.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, it was a super boring. It was a boring arc. It got good at the very end when it needed to transition into the next piece. But it was just like, okay, so basically we just started this season now.
Literally, though, quite literally just started this season after like 9 episodes. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing with Clone Wars, man, is it takes so many episodes to get going. It takes they do it kind of an anime style where it's an arc based show, you know what I mean? But the arcs take so long to get good, man. It take like 3 episodes to get going. Like you said, the Ahsoka arc, reintroducing her was dope, but just like the whole Spice Run story was kind of boring. Until I started to finally get intrigued when she was going to work with the Pikes, because the Pikes are a part of Crimson Dawn, which is Darth Maul's like intergalactic crime organization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once they mentioned the Pikes, I was like, okay, bet now, Maul's going to get involved at some point. But that last episode where Ahsoka is kind of leading this siege of Mandalore with my favorite female Star Wars character, Bo-Katan, the Mandalorian Death Watch girl. That's when it started to get really good.
Yeah, it was dope. Ahsoka had a super dope fight scene, action scene where she's been whooping.
She's been having a lot of good action scenes, man. She got hands too.
She does, yeah. When she busted into the air carrier and literally she did some crazy move where she like did like a split kick and then like force pushed her lightsabers and like did a back kick at the same time and then like turned around and got him back. I was like, yo, that shit was fucking fire.
Yeah. So good.
I'm excited to see her, Amanda. Bro, speaking of which, there's a hilarious video on IGN, and I got by it. It says, matter of fact, bro, can you pull it up? Can you browse the internet on your computer right now?
Mm-hmm. What am I looking for?
Hold on, I'm gonna send it in the chat, and I'm gonna give you the exact link. Because I kind of already spoiled it when I said I got, but it's actually really hilarious when you see it. All right, boom. All right, I just sent the link.
I'm about to look. So, but while I'm getting ready to check this video out, with as far as Clone Wars goes, just kind of finding out that this whole siege of Mandalore is going on simultaneously with basically the opening of Revenge of the Sith, right? You know what I'm saying? So, that was dope. Because now, you find out there's indeed another really big conflict going on while, this is going on with Ahsoka and with the whole beginning of Revenge of the Sith, where they are fake rescuing Palpatine because he's mine. You know what I'm saying? All right, I just found this. That's what we got here. Watching this trailer that Hero warned me about.
Right. I should have just sent it to you just without saying nothing.
Okay. Okay, looks really dope so far. No,
Right, dog.
I hate you,
Bro. So for y'all because we couldn't get it on screen, but basically, Baby Yoda has aged into a teen and is in the back of Mando's ship smoking weed. Happy 420.
Teenage rebellious Baby Yoda. Happy 420. Dog, that was absolutely hilarious.
That's funny. Well, that's a good segue to a piece we'll touch on later.
What is going on? Yo, that was funny. But yeah, man. So like we said, if you guys aren't caught up on Clone Wars, do it, man. Get caught up. Watch it. Because right now is the time to get back on it, because it's about to start getting really intense. You know, Order 66, definitely.
Yeah.
You know,
That's probably going to be the season finale, I bet, is seeing Order 66.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, the one thing that I didn't bring up, it's sad, bro, because now you kind of realize that Ahsoka seeing Anakin before they went on their respective missions, that's their last time seeing each other, man, before, because after that,
right. After that, it's a wrap.
Henceforth, you
shall be known as Darth Vader. And he said it with like a question mark. Darth Vader?
Yeah, bro. And he was looking mad evil with the yellow eyeballs.
Man. Also for the 10th, 12th, 100th time, Mace Windu had this nigga beat fair and square.
He must stand trial. Bro, shut up, Annie.
No, he lost. He did not mean Palpatine did not mean to lose that shit just to get Anakin to go to the dark side. Now it's true that Palpatine he planned for
planned for the events, but
right, and he planned for
taking that elbow.
Right, exactly. He planned on Anakin being there in case he lost.
Right.
But you got to understand, like, he's a Darth Lord of the Sith. Pride is one of their things. He was not trying to lose to Mace Windu. Mace Windu just had too many lightsabers for that nigga, and that was all that there was. Like, he just had too many answers, too many counters. You know what I'm saying?
Lord,
a Sith Lord.
I hate that part.
He completely broke character and turned into the guy from fucking Pulp Fiction in that thing. A Sith Lord.
Lord? Come on, man. What you yeah, man. Shout out to Anakin. Shout out to not Darth Vader Anakin. But yeah, bro. So with that said, like I said a second ago, man, watch Clone Wars. This is the time to get on it. It's about to start getting really real. By the way, my daughter made me this Trolls bracelet.
Hey.
So I've been wearing it. Branch is the best character in Trolls.
Let's go.
But yeah, man. So I saw this on the internet, the interwebs. This is a pretty, there's some good arguments here. Give me 3 characters who you think have the ability to lift Mjolnir. Now, if you are not more of a comic, fan, Mjolnir is Thor's hammer. And it says on the hammer, whoever
Whoever is found worthy shall wield the powers of Thor, or something like
whoever,
that.
Who's ever lifts this hammer is worthy of the power of Thor.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm
right.
sure. So, well, actually, we'll correct this, but basically, basically, it's not a strength thing, guys. It's a being worthy thing, right? If you're not worthy, it don't matter who you are. You can be the Incredible Hulk. You're not gonna be able to lift it up. That's why he can't lift it up. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? So, give me 3 characters who you think can lift me up.
So we got some easy ones here. I'm only going to do one easy one. Deku obviously would be able to do it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to throw a wrinkle in. I think that I'm thinking of a Jedi, but not obviously not Anakin, not Mace Windu, because he dabbles in some dark side to be powerful with his lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
I would say maybe Yoda. Maybe old Yoda, like a fully matured Yoda.
So here's my thing with that. I'm gonna play kind of devil's advocate here for a second with the Jedi thing. I don't think many of the Jedi during the Republic era would be able to lift it because they're too tainted by politics.
Yeah, no, I Yoda was guilty of that too, for sure. So I think that the way that, and some people are going to say Mary Sue. Okay, so fine. No, because I was going to say Rey, but she flat out was tempted by the dark side immediately. As soon as she got open to the Force, she immediately went to the dark side.
Dang, what are you doing?
You didn't even try to hold back. What the fuck? All right, so maybe none of the current day Jedi. Okay, so let's move into some more anime characters. We talked about Naruto. Oh, Rock Lee. I think Rock Lee would be able to.
Lee, absolutely. 100%, man.
Who you got as I think of my third one?
Off top, man, let's give some credit to Ash Ketchum. You know what I mean? Ash is definitely lifting me on there. Ash cares about Pokemon more than anybody in the world. This guy doesn't even catch them. He asks them if they would like to be a part of his team. You know what I mean? Ash has every legendary Pokemon, like you said the other day. Ash has all the legendaries on speed dial, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a friend.
He's a friend, bro. I got a really good one for all my Game of Thrones folks. I'm going to go with Jon Snow. Jon Snow, and I know you're not a Game of Thrones guy, so basically,
not a throner.
Do you plan on watching at any point? Because if I talk too much about him, it could be a major game breaking spoiler, like the whole series.
So it's all good, man.
All right. So Jon Snow is, for all intents and purposes, the kind of main character of Game of Thrones. He is the bastard of Winterfell, meaning that Ned Stark, who was sort of the de facto main character in the first season, is the Lord of Winterfell, one of the Northern houses. He's their very honorable man. He was killed by the whole ass government, the whole ass kingship. Killed his ass for some bullshit, and he has a son, a bastard son, who is just really pure of heart. He's a natural leader. He goes and joins the Night's Watch and becomes the leader of the Night's Watch. And there's also, I don't want to spoil it, but there is some intrigue around his parentage, his lineage. There's some sweaty conspiracy about who he really is and how it lines up in the Game of Thrones universe, which actually in the books have not, because the show went far ahead of the actual books. And so the books have not gotten to the point yet where they talk about who Jon Snow really is, or if he's anybody special. But what we've seen about him so far is that he's super pure of heart. He is just he's like the only person in the whole Game of Thrones universe whose moral compass is like due north. Like everybody else in Game of Thrones is just a shitty white person. Or like some variation of like a shade of gray, whereas Jon Snow is very much a paragon. He's very much a like virtuous character. So I think based on what we've seen of him, he would be able to lift Mjolnir.
Absolutely. I like it, man. Those are some good answers. Rock Lee, probably my favorite answer. I think if you take away, with the exception of Naruto, I think Lee is definitely lifting the hammer. Also, Minato, man, Naruto's dad, for the Kage, man, his son was born, and this guy instantly gave up his life to save his baby boy in the village. Minato's definitely worthy of lifting him there.
Mirio as well, Lemillion.
Oh, absolutely. Mirio from My Hero, definitely lifting the hammer. I saw a lot of people saying Goku, right?
What?
Let's talk about that, because that is not a good answer. Like, maybe
we got to be more specific.
We got to be more specific. Young Goku, like Dragon Ball era Goku,
yes,
absolutely. But the problem is Goku has, and I love Goku, right? I like him. I don't dislike him. I like him a lot. But you have to be honest. Goku has kind of gone from he's a battle junkie, man. He's gone from his whole thing being fighting on behalf of others to basically,
he doesn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, he's just feeding his selfish desire to become.
He just wants to get stronger. He's become a Saiyan, man. He's become a Saiyan.
Exactly, man. And he has become a Saiyan, and Vegeta has become the human. You know what I mean? They've flopped roles, and that's why Goku is a no-go for me. If we're talking about lifting the hammer, how about Gon from Hunter x Hunter?
As long as we're not talking about Killua, yes, for sure.
Killua got some skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, no doubt. But Gon, I can see Gon is very much pure of heart. I'm not a huge Hunter x Hunter guy, but I know enough about it to know Gon is very much a open-hearted, just want to be nice and experience all the good in the world.
Absolutely. I saw somebody say Kenshin. Let's talk about this. Look, Kenshin is my whatever. He's my second favorite anime character ever. I'm telling you right now. No. Okay. Nah. He's done too much. He got way too many bodies. That
nigga got so many bodies, dog. They call him Hitokiti Bato Sai, dog. That means the manslayer.
Bro, this guy. He was an animal. He was a murdering animal.
I know Novelist has already encouraged y'all not to do this, but I'm telling you, if you want to know about Kenshin's backstory, even though it's an OVA, it's not necessarily canon. But listen, bro, if you watch that shit and if you accept it,
they'll cry. Okay, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
if you want to watch something incredibly sad, go ahead, watch it.
It's super sad, but you'll watch it and be like, oh hell no, Kenshin ain't gonna never be able to pick that motherfucker up ever. It really, but listen,
that's true. If you watch that and not the anime, you'll be like, oh, absolutely not.
It actually, bro, I'm telling you, man, the OVA it's sad, it's super sad, but it makes the Kenshin anime make a lot more sense. You get to understand why Kenshin is so like off the violence tip. Like you understand why if you see the ovas, because it basically goes it in detail goes over his backstory and also his future as well. And man, the ending is hella dog. It's sad
for me.
It is really sad.
Too sad for me. All right, man. Moving on from the Mjolnir question, I think if you had to have one guy that was just an absolute shoe-in, I'm picking Deku.
It's easily Deku.
Hero.
No doubt.
Deku.
Right.
Slash it. Definitely picking up. But yeah, man, it's 4:20 right now. I'm not a smoker. I don't know about you.
I'm not either. No.
But Oh, sorry, guys. That was boring.
Right. And that does it for the smoking section of the podcast. Right.
Wait, hey, what do you mean you don't smoke? You're a Rasta.
Right.
You make me want to randomly drug test you just by looking at you.
And I do have on an actual dreadlock cap. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But
the actual dreadlock cap.
The dreadlock cap.
Right. No, I don't actually smoke, believe it or not. But you know, I used to be one of the niggas be like, oh, y'all smoke, that's bad. But I don't judge anymore.
I'm not judgmental in the slightest ever in life. But 420 just so happens to be Bakugo's birthday from My Hero Academia.
That's funny.
Shout out to Bakugo, man. I just want to say that for so long, I could not stand this guy. And once he kind of had this moment with Deku when they fought outside the dorms, and you kind of finally got to see why he was the way he was and why he had so much resentment towards Deku. And now I like him.
Yeah, I agree. Your camera is stuck in a... This is what you're doing right now.
Whoa! I almost fell out of the chair. Was I moving right there? Did I move?
No, they didn't see that, luckily.
Oh, okay. I almost fell out the chair, y'all. I don't know what's going on with my I'm having some technical difficulties.
Bro, so y'all, hey, look, everybody come support us on Tuesday so Novelist can pay his Comcast bill.
Right. Tomorrow we going live on tomorrow we going live, man. Hit up patreon.com/novelist. Pay $5, become a patron, whatever how you say it. And we're doing a live set, man, for y'all. So it's gonna be dope. Y'all check that out. But yeah, bro, I have some shout out to Bakugo, 420. It's his birthday.
Yes.
But I have some
questions for you. Well, hold on really quick, because I saw in the show notes here. Yes, we do. We do have show notes. I got a hilarious for somebody who doesn't smoke. I got a hilarious weed-related story.
I have a terrible weed-related story.
Okay, you go first. I'm gonna lighten everybody's mood up. You go first.
Okay, so my weed-related story is years ago, my group was supposed to go do a couple shows in Canada. And we're driving across, we're getting ready to head to the border. I literally stopped.
Anytime your computer gets stuck, I'm gonna try to imitate the position that you got stuck in. But you're back now.
Yo, why is it doing that? It's never done this before.
It's all good.
So we're driving, and I stop the truck, and I literally say, yo, if anybody has any weed paraphernalia on them right now, get rid of it. You know what I mean? We're not playing this game going across the Canadian border. They're so strict. But like, no, man, yeah. Unknown person. I'm not going to say any names here. A member of Clear Soul Forces, my group, has weed and a grinder. We're going across the border. Of course, they make us pull over so they can search us. We're black. There's 4 of us.
Okay. Hey, you guys get out of that car.
So they pull us over, right? They search everything, and first they find the merch in the back, the vinyl and everything. I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? Are you guys blah blah? And so we already got to deal with that thing, right? And what do they find? They find member of Clear Soul Forces, weed in their backpack. Bruh, they arrested all 4 of us, okay? I'm talking stripped naked, butt naked, searched for weed, everything, bro. Just like you see on the movies and the TV shows, one of the worst experiences of my life. All because one member had some weed on, okay? Icing on the cake, we don't get to go to the shows. Shows get canceled.
Trash.
We are stuck, detained in this stupid cell for hours and hours and hours. But the true icing on the cake, this was on my birthday.
Trash.
Worst birthday ever.
All right, well, yeah, that sucked. That my story is way funnier than that. It's a shorter story though. So it's made funnier by the fact that I actually don't smoke, right? So I was at work. I think this was 2 years ago. This was before I got on my health kick, so I was eating bullshit, and it was about 2:30 in the afternoon. I was super tired. I was super just sort of drained, and I went to the gas station. I left work on my break, and I went to the gas station. Nigga went and bought some chips. God damn it, some fucking chocolate, some fucking just a giant pile of fucking
of crap
and junk food, right? And so I'm disheveled. I'm fucking like eyes glazed over, eyes are red as fuck, and I just sort of sort of sleepwalk over to her and I pay for my stuff, and then she looks down at this just mountain of junk food, looks up at me with my hair disheveled, because this is when I first started locking my hair, so my hair was fucking all over the place. My eyes were glazed over, god damn it, and my eyes were red as fuck, and looked at me and raised her eyebrow, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. I clearly, and again, it's made so much funnier by the fact that I actually don't smoke, but like I walked in there looking like a nigga on 420 who was just absolutely higher than a kite, and and I got busted by the gas station worker, and I 100% certain that she didn't believe me. Obviously, there's no way she believed me.
Of course not.
And I was, bro.
She was judging you, bro. She was
absolutely, and I to this day, I've never smoked a day of my life, and I got caught looking like a weed head in that one moment on 420. I bet it was hilarious.
That's funny. Real quick, give me a savage anime moment off the top of your head, just without even thinking about it. What's a savage moment in anime history that people should go check out right now?
All right, I got two that came to. Oh my god! Okay, I got two good ones. So one is Cell versus Gohan versus Cell. That's iconic. where he literally punches the androids out that nigga, dog, and like makes him spit up androids 18 and 19. Or 17, 18.
He punched the upgrade out of Cell.
Right, yeah. He punched the Windows up out his ass. He downgraded that nigga into Windows fucking 95, bro.
This fool threw up.
Right, bro. So then, and talk about savage, just at peak anime savageness. I gotta go with Kuroku no Basuke. With the introduction of, I can't remember their names for some reason, but the point guard, Ashikaka or something like that. I can't remember his name. You guys know what I'm talking about. The point guard, you don't get to see him until the very last arc of the season. He's the guy with the emperor eye, with the red hair. And so look, at first, when you start to play, when they play against him, they're hanging with him, and they kind of remarking like, oh, he's solid. Like, he's pretty good. He ain't really doing nothing crazy. He's just making good passes. He's hitting open jump shots. He's not doing anything crazy. And then he activated his emperor eye, which basically, I just love how they just make everything so exaggerated and so over the top. Absolutely, basically, man. The emperor eye is basically just like dog ass court vision. But it extends to like being able to like slow the game down, which is kind of what if you have good court vision, that's kind of what it is.
What happens in real life,
right? But the reason why I was so savage is because he had the classic anime villain speech where he was like dribbling at the top of the key and was about to cross somebody over and was like, you cannot stop my crossover. You will fall. You will kneel before me. And this nigga, bro, so look, he crosses over, fucking breaks my man's ankles, and the funniest part is like the shocked reaction of the guy who was guarding him. He was like, ugh, and fell, right, and he falls down, and it was just like the screen like went black and white, and he was just like, ugh. and then fucking just gets his ankles broken in the most savage way ever. That shit is hilarious. He was literally commanding niggas to fall when they were trying to guard him. It was savage as fuck, bro. I love it.
That's hilarious. Classic anime, flabbergasted by the villain. You know what I'm saying? That's a really good, those are two good Savage moments, especially Gohan punching the power upgrade out of Cell. Mine, I'm gonna go with, here's one of the most savage moments ever. Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter. If you're not familiar with the show, Kurapika is a character whose entire clan was kind of like wiped out by this group called the Phantom Troop. And it's because his clan has these red eyes, and they steal the eyes and they sell them for a lot of money and stuff like that. There's a guy named Uvo, and Uvo is like the biggest, baddest member of the Phantom Troop. And Kurapika spends his like whole life like wanting to track one of them down and kill him, right? This dude shows up to fight Uvo, who is said to be the strongest member, and he brings a shovel with him to the fight. not to use as a weapon, to dig a grave for Uvo, because he absolutely knew he was about to catch a body.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That's hilarious. That is savage as fuck.
That's high level savagery.
Shout
out to Kurapika, man. Bringing a shovel to a fight to dig a hole for his opponent.
Yep.
But yo, here we go, man. I got some film questions for you.
Boom.
Just like the anime ones, off the top of your head. Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
Let's go. Film you hate.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Are we talking about? We're not talking about just comic book movies, right? We're just talking about.
No, word. There's anything.
Any movies.
Films.
Okay, I'll give y'all a comic book movie just because I need y'all to shut the fuck up about it. The first Captain America was not good. That shit was trash. I'm sorry, bro. That shit was not good, dog. Captain America didn't get good until Winter Soldier, and that was fantastic.
Where anime film you think is overrated?
There's a lot of films I think that are overrated. Here's one: Napoleon Dynamite. Wasn't really my thing.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I remember the hype for Napoleon Dynamite being unbelievable, and then I watched it, and I was like,
"Right,
what am I missing?"
It was funny, right? But it wasn't like it's not really my type of humor. You know what I'm saying?
It's like super dry, like
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really get it. Film you think is underrated?
Man, shout out to my homie Eric Huffman. He and I bonded over this shit. Nigga, Children of Men, so good. One of my favorite movies of all time. It's like a really like, it's not really a high concept, but it's just like a sweaty sci-fi movie about a world where like there's a fertility plague where like people stop having the ability to have kids. And there's like the youngest person in the world is like 18. And like all of a sudden there's a new baby that's born, and like it's a big deal, and it's like a post-apocalyptic world. And there's this one, I'm a sucker for one shot. So there's this one scene where there's a whole one shot take of like a crazy ass gunfight where like
I love one shot fights.
Amazing, right?
It takes a lot to be able to do that.
In this one, there was a long ass cut where like there was a crazy ass gun battle, and then the baby is discovered in the middle of the gunfight, and everybody hears the baby like start crying, and like everybody stops because this is the first baby that's been born in like 18 years, and like the whole battle just stops, and they walk the baby back out the way they came with all in one shot. It's fucking gorgeous. I love it. Awesome. Absolutely love it.
And I love that. That sounds amazing. And you know, I wish the world would react like that to
yeah, absolutely, man.
In real life, you know what I mean?
It was deep.
Yeah, that's super deep. A film that you love.
There's a lot that I love, but the first thing that came to mind was Hook.
Ooh. Bangarang Peter!
Hey, Rufio.
Rufio!
Also, shout out to Rufio Jones, dope
Shout
ass
out
MC
to-
from Detroit. Shout out to Doc
Shout out
Illingsworth,
to Rufio Jones.
Sean
Doc
Uppercut,
Illingsworth.
the whole Detroit City.
It's a
Hey,
dope rap group, man. Y'all should check them out.
and them niggas are all fucking hilarious. So funny.
Funny.
All of them hilarious.
Extremely hilarious people there. A film that you can watch over and over again.
The Matrix.
Ooh, nice.
Turn that shit on right now.
A film that made you fall in love with cinematography.
Oh, see, I kind of gave the answer already with Children of Men, but I can give you another one. With cinematography, I'm gonna go with fuck. I can't. It's got to be Children of Men, because he's the cinematographer for Children of Men is the same dude who did Gravity, and as well as The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio, and they both had amazing cinematography. So,
okay, a film that changed your life.
Man, again, I want to say The Matrix here, but let's do something else. You know what? Here's a good one, dog. Three Ninjas. Three Ninjas, because I was already into martial arts. Three Ninjas / Surf Ninjas, because I was into martial arts.
Oh my god, bro!
You know what I'm saying? And like that was like,
bro,
yo,
classics.
I feel validated because I do martial arts, and I fucking like I want to keep doing them because of this shit.
Dog, Surf Ninjas, bro. Great
movie.
Young Rob Snyder.
Yeah.
I remember the most random things from them. Seriously, bro, if you don't want chives, I won't put them in. Remember, he was just at their house cooking.
Yeah.
My goodness, Surf Ninjas. That's a deep cut, bro.
Deep cut. Ernie Reyes Sr.
Bro, and
skateboard off.
Skateboard off.
Hilarious.
Man, yo, you about to make me watch Surf Ninjas, bro. Or how about when my man Rob Snyder thinks that he has mind powers and thinks that big
This nigga
almost fell off the chair.
This nigga was walking around the battlefield. My mind. That shit was hilarious, bro.
And it was because he would be like, what if this happens? And then it would happen, right? And then he thought he had mind powers.
What a hilarious gag, bro.
And then he was like, there's that one part where it's like, what if I lose my powers? Oh no, I just lost my powers. Oh my gosh, I want to watch that movie so bad now. Surf Ninjas, man. Shout out to Surf Ninjas. That movie is hilarious. Guilty pleasure.
Okay, here's a guilty pleasure. I low key fuck with the Purge series.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right. I know that's. But look, bro. Hold on. Wait a minute. If you watch the Purge, nigga, that shit is actually super low key woke as fuck.
Okay.
Like they are flat out trying to eat the rich out here, and it's really pertinent for what's going on right now. I super low key fuck with, and then they got like a black lead for a couple of the later movies. It was, and the movie was trash. Like there's no doubt. Like it was a good movie, but I appreciate what they were trying to do,
and that's what makes it a guilty pleasure, man.
Yeah.
A movie you should have seen by now.
Big Lebowski. I know everybody loves that movie. I'm just not. It doesn't look funny to me. Like I know every white comedian ever bases their entire comedic shtick around the Big Lebowski. I'm just not.
We're not here for it.
I mean, I'm sure it's okay, but here's another one. And I will solve this. I will get on this right away during our quarantine, because the spectacle of what these new movies are looking like, there must be something to them, bro. The Fast and Furious movies. I'm gonna have to take the ride, bro.
It was on last episode, and you said it was just raining cars.
Bro, I'm telling you, so it went from street racing to these niggas are like
to automobile precipitation.
Until it was literally a building tipped over sideways and cars just started falling out this motherfucker. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on right now? I don't understand.
That's crazy. A film you wish you never watched.
Oh shit. What trash ass movie have I watched recently? Man, I think that. Yeah, see, look, I'm sorry, I got to do it, but I think Justice League was just really, really bad, bro. And I support the Snyderverse. I support Zack Snyder. I thought that some of his movies weren't as bad as. Oh, I got a better one. Because I had such high hopes for this movie. Fucking X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh my goodness, Ivan Ooze Apocalypse.
No. Right,
Ivan Ooze Apocalypse. Yo, and finally, the last question: a film that you wish had a sequel that didn't have a sequel.
Oh man, there's so many, dog. District 9 is the first one that comes to mind. That was a fantastic movie.
District 9 was a good movie.
It was, and it was perfectly set up for a sequel. What else? Shit. Give me a second to think about this, so District 9 was the first one that came to mind.
District 9 was a good movie, man.
It was super.
I only saw it one time, but it was good.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed that movie. I like Neil Blomkamp, the guy who directed it. I would like to see. Well, there's some of the movies I know have sequels that are about to come out. So I was gonna say Black Panther, obviously, but we know that's coming out. Damn, I gotta give you one more good one. Because I swear that there's something that's right on the tip of my tongue. Like a movie from the 90s that we all loved. Okay, here's one. Here's a good one. I wish that The Lion King had a proper sequel, not a straight to video joint.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like a proper sequel where they had the same big budget and you were able to kind of see like what's next for the Pride Lands, what's next for Simba and his folks. It could have been I didn't even see the straight to DVD or whatever, straight to tape. I'm sure it was trash.
I didn't see the sequel to The Lion King until I had a kid. You know what I mean? That was my way of watching it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But now, you know, with the film questions out of the way for you, it is time for our favorite part of the show. And I'm sure possibly maybe everyone else's favorite part of the show. It's time to talk about how racist Vince. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey!
It's time for our top
Everybody
5.
at WWE is fired.
Especially the black ones. It's time for the top 5. It's time for the top 5 of the day. And yo, this is a hard one, bro. This may very possibly be the hardest one ever. And the reason I say that is because normally we do our top 5. They are like universe boundaried off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This time we always celebrate the heroes, but villains make the story go, right? There's some super dope villains out there. So right now, Hiro-san,
Izuku,
I need your top 5 favorite villains ever, regardless of their universe.
All right, hold on. But first, I got to do some honorable mentions. It was too many.
All the time, there's too many good villains out there.
So I had to go a couple of video game villains. I got to go with Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. This nigga, bro, he's just so iconic, dog. Your soul is mine. Right, Yo, I love in the new Mortal Kombat game that they got Kerry, whatever his last name is, to be the voice.
That dude don't age, bro.
Bro, because he be stealing niggas' souls. That's why.
It's real life.
Yeah, no, that nigga's a sorcerer. That's the reason why he doesn't age.
I forgot that. Absolutely.
Your soul is mine. That nigga be pointing. I love it, dog. Right. That nigga be so. He be so. That nigga be intense as fuck, man.
Yo, speaking of Mortal Kombat, bro, that animated Scorpion movie is out.
Yeah. I saw that. It's on, bro. I randomly saw it on Roku, like on like this.
Word. Okay.
Just so it's out there.
I'm gonna have to find it and watch it.
So hold on, your screen is stuck again.
Again? What is
This is
the
what you're doing.
deal here? You're frozen too. You're doing, but I'm not. Am I moving yet?
No, you're looking intensely at something.
But
There we go.
But you can still hear me.
I can see you now. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, that's what you were doing.
Oh, with this way. Yeah. So all right, I got another super a super weird. That's not weird. It's just not the common universe. I'm gonna go with a Star Trek villain.
Okay.
For all my Star Trek sweaties, it's probably one of the most iconic Star Trek villains ever. I'm gonna go with Gul Dukat, who is a Cardassian military commander. I mean, to really explain his backstory, I need a whole podcast, but basically Deep Space Nine is about Starfleet coming and basically doing like a Vietnam type thing where we're trying to stop the Cardassians from enslaving this other population. And Gul Dukat, and so they come and occupy Deep Space Nine, and Gul Dukat used to be the leader of Deep Space Nine before the Federation took it over. And basically he's essentially the Joker to Captain Sisko's Batman. So they're just diametrically opposed, and he's just really well written, really well developed. He's not a character that you like ever believe and like, oh, he's actually got a point. Like he's straight up like a Vince McMahon, like racist. I'm better than you. We are genetically, I mean, almost like a Hitler type. We're genetically superior. Like you deserve to be enslaved type nigga. But like he really believes that shit. Like there was one episode where like he's kind of faced, it's fucking long ass story, but basically he has to like have a mission with Major Kira, who is a Bajoran, who was the race of people who they had enslaved, and they end up getting into this heart to heart where she really asked this nigga like, bro, like, you know, y'all was on some real bullshit and in the Cardassian occupation of Bajor, and he was like, yeah, like whatever, it sucked, blah 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 blah. He was just kind of answering machine responses, and then she finally got this nigga really to get underneath his skin and was like, yo, like seriously, like what the fuck was that? Why were y'all bullshitting like that? And he straight up was like, because we were better than you deserved it. This nigga really like honestly thought that he was superior, and it was just really well acted, and he's just a terrible hate you type character. Anyways, moving on into the actual top 5. Number 5, one of the most iconic anime villains of all time. We got to go with Lord Frieza.
Hey,
you want to talk about a racist, dog?
You want to talk about the most racist guy? Monkeys, right?
Like he literally used to call an entire these hairy monkeys, dog. He was so racist. But just in terms of longevity, I tend to like the verbose villains, the ones that talk a lot of shit and, you know, end up backing it up. So I fuck with Frieza. And speaking of verbose villains who talk a lot of shit, number 4, I'm gonna go with the Joker from DC. Just an absolutely iconic villain. You never really believe. I mean, the only version of the Joker that you kind of like understand to some extent is the Dark Knight's Joker. I'm not gonna say I agree with an anarchist in that sense, but I understood like he basically didn't have any faith. I mean, one of the best lines in all of cinema is when this nigga was like, when Batman or somebody said you're a monster. And Joker said, "No, I'm not a monster.
Like, I'm just this guy here."
Right. Well, right. So he is very quick to point out that you think I'm crazy, and this nigga dresses in a bat suit, beating up criminals, and I'm the one y'all think is crazy. This nigga is out of his fucking mind. But nah. In the Dark Knight, somebody says, "Oh, you're a monster," and the most badass response ever. That nigga said, "I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve."
Yeah,
and I'm
bro.
like, "Yo, that's brilliant." I mean,
and it like starts going into like, yo, at the second something goes wrong, y'all will eat each other.
Yeah, they will eat each other, and it's like, bro, we saw that happen
seeing it right
now,
people fighting over toilet paper. Is so
right,
true.
old white grandmas punching each other in the face over toilet tissue. Here's the crazy part: y'all realize that you didn't need all that toilet paper, didn't you? You got a cabinet full of toilet paper, and you didn't take and
you could be giving it to somebody else,
right? And you didn't take not one extra shit than you would have otherwise.
And y'all,
you know what I'm saying?
Protesting with guns.
The fuck out of here, bro!
Shoot that virus.
Right, bro. So, anyways, gotta go with the Joker at number 4.
Yes, forget the truck. We're gonna shoot that virus, and we're gonna wrap it in the American flag.
And right, exactly. All right, man. Number 3 from one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay, I'm ready. Not now. I kind of knew about these two kind of being in your list, but I'm interested to see where this is going now.
I think one of them you're gonna know. The other two you might be surprised. This one you might be surprised, man. For one of my favorite movie, maybe my favorite movie of all time. I got to go with Agent Smith from The Matrix.
That's such a great pick, bro.
Mr. Anderson. I mean, you want to talk about
Mr. Anderson,
right? Hey, look, and I got the fucking thing too. God damn it! Right. Shout out to Edmund.
Shout out to there being a Cognizant agent,
right?
And then there being like the finesse agent.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to my homie Edmund. He does the best Agent Smith impression ever. So we'll have to get him to do that shit one day. It's hilarious. But man, again, there's a scene where when he's talking to Morpheus and he's like, man, you know what humans are? You're a fucking virus. Ooh, what? He was like, there is one species that your behavior mimics almost perfectly. You know what that is? A virus. I was like, holy shit. Fuck.
Yo, man.
God damn, you're right. We suck. It just goes, I mean, I just love villains that do a great job of critiquing the human experience. And even if it's a little exaggerated, I think that I can just, I know what you mean, bro. Like, I don't necessarily agree, but I feel you. I know where you, I understand where you got that from. You know what I'm saying?
Right, bro.
And then there's another type of villain that I fuck with too, and we'll probably share this one. That where he's a villain because he'll do whatever needs to happen in order to get his, right?
Okay.
And in the Marvel universe, there's one that stands above almost everybody else. And I'm not talking about Magneto because he's not a man. Magneto's a fucking hero. God damn it. Magneto is man. Yes, salute Magneto. You know what I'm saying?
He's not. And the funny thing is I've never once thought of, I never really thought of Magneto as a villain ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ever did I. Now some of his, his associates,
he keeps some bad company around him.
He keeps some evil doers around him, but more so
by any means necessary. God damn it.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Malcolm X style. He's definitely also always used to look at it that he's just taking in the troubled. You know what I mean? He's taking in the troubled ones, man, and just giving them a place to operate, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but aside from Magneto, there's one that stands above all else who will engineer your doom to get his way. You know what I'm saying? Victor Von Doom, the Dr. Doom, dog. And what a classic ass hero or villain name too. And
before we get any further, I know that hero loves Dr. Doom. I knew he was going to be on your list. This is what made me want to pick this for our top 5 when I was at the store, Into the Wasteland. So I got you something, and I'm gonna give it to you next time I see you, my friend. Oh,
hey. Yo, that's super fire, bro.
Go.
That's fire as fuck. Let's go. Hey, I appreciate you, dog.
Hey, man, for sure, bro.
My man.
And then that is what made me want to do this top
Let's
5
go.
today.
Hey.
Shout out to Dr. Doom, man.
Yeah. Victor Von Doom, bro. Like, he is, man, it's so many good stories with Dr. Doom. I mean, look,
Absolutely.
y'all know how much I love Black Panther. I think he was my second or third favorite character ever. But it's only one motherfucker that gave, Namor gave Black Panther. He cheated, though. He fucking flooded the shit. That's bullshit.
Namor's racist for that, by the way.
Right, he is. It's only. I mean, Black. You go to Wakanda and you taking an L. But it's only one nigga who went to Wakanda and walked out that bitch, and it was Victor Von Doom, dog. Victor Von Doom is one of the few villains who straight up beat T'Challa fair and square, to the point where T'Challa had to make his greatest weapon inert in order to undo what Dr. Doom had done.
And was that Doom War?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so look, Dr. Doom is and again, like, he's just, I got a soft spot because I'm an arrogant asshole too. I just love the overconfident villains where, like, there's no question that he would win, but he just lets his overconfidence
would rather not.
Or just like, bro, he just like don't care enough to like
fully indulge himself.
Right, to like cross every T and dot every I just because, man, fuck it. Y'all niggas ain't shit. I don't need to fucking worry about that. And then here come Will actually Reed Richards did fucking goes back and checks his work. Well, actually, Dr. Doom, there's actually a period here. And
Victor, look, Reed, why don't you go pay your wife some attention, bro?
Right,
you know
right, dog.
Because everybody in the Marvel universe is in love with your wife. So.
Right, except for you, apparently.
Except for you.
Right.
Yo, except for you, bro.
Yep.
Oh, man.
All right, yeah. So Dr. Doom number 2, and then number 1, bro, and a surprise.
I know you're number 1.
A surprise upset just because of how much I fuck with this character, dog. And I just loved his arc, man. You got one of the upsideiest force users of all time who fucking who deleted the past, dog. Who got rid of it, man. I gotta go with Kylo Ren, bro. Such a fucking amazing character. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my back. Am I stuck?
You back. Oh, let's go.
But yeah, bro, Dr. Doom. Kylo Ren. Hold
on, you know I gotta do it. The map to Skywalker. We know you found it. And you're going to give it to the First Order.
Right, bro. and he was played so well by man, listen, I loved him. Adam Driver so good. Like
Adam Driver.
He did such a good job of playing like a powerful but really young, angsty guy who just is just like
a little emotionally unstable,
perfect. Just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
More.
More.
I want every gun we have to fire on that man. What? Let's go.
Hold on. Another one. I'm sensing some unease about my appearance, General Hux. No.
Looks quite all right. Love it. Kylo Ren. Shout out to Kylo.
Man, look, bro. I love Kylo Ren too. My favorite part of Rise of Skywalker, bro, is when Rey does the elegant forced backflip over the gigantic waterfall.
Yeah.
But here comes Kylo Ren just walking.
Right. Stomping through that bitch.
Bro, just
right. You know what I'm saying?
Just walking through, and then he does the come on, man.
There was one sneaky scene at the very beginning of Rise of Skywalker where this nigga does a straight up like Street Fighter move where he like
with
the flaming back jab where he sets the ground on fire and sliding backwards.
That was so good. Bro, let's talk about Kylo, bro. My man is hunting down the most fabled like myth and scariest person ever. And punting him down by himself. Yep,
by himself, man. Shout out to Kylo Ren. So yeah, that's my top 5. We got Lord Frieza. We got the Joker, Agent Smith. Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom, and Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. Let's get it.
I like it, man. That is a fantastic list. I like it a lot, actually, man. So now I'm going to get into my list here. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, man. Right off the top, coming in at number 5. Look, man, this is maybe a bit of a surprise to some people. I'm a huge Avatar, The Last Airbender fan. I'm a huge Legend of Korra fan. So starting off my list, number 5, I'm going with Zahir. And now, from Legend of Korra. Now, if you have never seen Legend of Korra, you gotta watch it. I would even recommend that you just go watch season 3. There's this guy Zahir, right? And I told you, I talked about him before. He was a non-bender, right? And then there's this event that happens called harmonic convergence that gives non-benders the ability to airbend because the air nation had been wiped out. So it's like the universe restoring balance to the nations, right? So this guy, he was a master martial artist, and that's why he was able to pick up bending so fast. But he was a part of this group called the Red Lotus, and they are locked in these like maximum security prisons where they can't get out. And he wakes up and he's able to airbend, right? One day, this dude breaks out of prison and he says, and I told you before, this quote, he says, I love it so much. And he says, when you base your expectations only on what you see, you blind yourself to a new reality. And then the dude breaks out of prison using the airbending, bro. He's just an amazing character. We talked before about how much we like villains who make sense, right? You know what I mean? Like they have goals, and he's just, all Zahir wanted was to eliminate oppressive leaders from the world and give power back to the people. That's all he wanted to do. Now, he obviously didn't go about it the right way, but I was here for what he wanted to do, and he's a really dope character, man. And my man teaches himself how to fly, which we have never seen a character in the Avatar universe do. Crazy. So shout out to Zahir, man. All right, coming in at number 4. I gotta do it, man. I gotta have him in here too. I gotta go with Kylo Ren. Coming in at number 4, man. I love Kylo Ren. I loved him in the first film. Was upset that they got rid of his helmet, but he definitely grew on me. And then I just absolutely loved his performance in Rise of Skywalker, man. I was big fan of his lightsaber style. You know what I mean? We talked about it before, and I mean, I'm a big fan of Kylo, man. He's a dope character. The sweet lightsaber design, the helmet, the mask. Loved it. Loved him in Rise of Skywalker. One of my favorite villains ever. And like you said, man, Adam Driver he killed that role, bro. Killed it. He really delivered in that role. So gotta give it up for Kylo Ren. Now, before I get to my top 3 here, I do want to do a couple honorable mentions because I didn't do it. First one, Dr. Doom, man. I love Dr. Doom. Favorite Marvel villain. Doom's the man. Yeah, if there's one character I think deserves their own movie right now, it's Dr. Doom.
I would rather see a Dr. Doom movie than Fantastic Four.
Absolutely. And I mean, he needs his own film before he is established in like a crossover. He's that important and has that much backstory. You know what I mean? Yep. So shout out to Dr. Doom. Some other villains, man. Hero Killer Stain from My Hero. I loved Stain. Stain was dope. His ideology, I was here for it. Corvus Glaive, man. I talk about Corvus Glaive. If you're not familiar, Corvus Glaive is in the Black Order. He's Thanos' like right hand man, and I really am a fan of him too. So those are some of my other favorites. But now we're getting into this top 3, man, and it is getting real. All right, coming in at number 3, man. Look, bro, you gotta go back. You gotta do yourself a favor. You gotta read the comic books. You gotta go watch the 2003 show, Master Shredder. Okay, let's go, man. I can't believe I forgot Shredder. Let's go, man. Master Shredder from Ninja Turtles. I always talk about that 2003 Ninja Turtles series. The scariest Shredder ever, bro, with the red eyes, right? And he was just, Shredder's the man. I gotta go Shredder at number 3, man. Like I came up reading the Ninja Turtle comic books. If you guys think it's all kid stuff, man, read the comic books, bro. Shredder is a killer.
Yeah, nice. He's a beast.
Shredder's a beast. And the 1990s Ninja Turtles movie, bro. Oh my goodness, the 1990s Ninja Turtles movie. Just
Rokusaki, dog.
Rokusaki. So Shredder, man, coming in at number 3. This is a good one, bro. Coming in at number 2, I gotta go with the villain from my favorite movie ever. Now, this person is the villain, but they're like the main characters. Who it's almost like a duo and protagonist, antagonist at the same time. And I gotta go with my girl Jin Yu from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Look, man, that's my favorite movie, bro. And I just loved her role as like kind of the villain, anti-hero, like, you know what I mean? The girl who steals the sword, you know what I mean? And she is amazing in that movie. She was my favorite character. Steals the Greek destiny and doesn't want to be trained by Li Mubai, right? She's doing it to be rebellious because, you know, she's got the patrol marriage. She doesn't want to do it. She'd rather be out in the martial arts world. You know what I'm saying? And she says a quote in this movie that I really love. And she just said, it's super simple, bro. And all she says is, it must be exciting to be a fighter, to be totally free. Because she is like from this nice little royal family, and everybody thinks she's this good little girl, but nah, bro, she's a martial arts master. Sneaks out at night, you know what I mean? Does her thing, steals a sword, and does it because, like I said, she's stuck in that patrol marriage that she does not want to be a part of. So this is kind of her secret life, you know what I mean? Super dope character, great villain. Love that movie, favorite movie ever. But number 1, I mean, you guys know what it is. You guys know what number 1 is. I don't have to say it. I don't have to explain it. Darth Maul, man, favorite Star Wars character ever. One of my favorite characters ever. I mean, I don't got to explain it, man. You already know I go to bat for episode 1 all day. Everybody hates it, that movie. Whatever. Darth Maul is my dude. I love Darth Maul. You know, fighting. He's a martial artist, man. Shout out to Ray Park, who played Darth Maul in Phantom Menace, and just following his comic book stuff. You know, got some super really dope comic book material. I always say, you know, not the biggest fan of like animated Clone Wars Darth Maul, more so the films. But I think he's about to get some respect in this last season. So
for sure.
So yeah, man, shout out to Darth Maul. That's my top 5, man, right there. My top 5 favorite villains. Coming in at number 5, Zahir from Legend of Korra. Number 4, Kylo Ren. Number 3, Master Shredder. Number 2, Jin Yu from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And number 1, my favorite, Darth Maul. Also, man, Storm Shadow is not on my list, and it's only because I don't really view Storm Shadow as a villain. You know what I mean? Storm Shadow is just kind of a guy who, like, don't let the movies, you know, kind of twist that up for you. Storm Shadow he's just here for the paycheck, right? Like, I don't really look at Taskmaster as a villain either, because Taskmaster is in that same, who's paying me? Is it the good guys or is it the bad guys? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and his relationship with the Snake Eyes is more so from a place, as at least in the comic books, their relationship is kind of more so from a place of rivalry than it is like hero versus villain. You know what I mean? So I've never in my life really viewed Storm Shadow as a villain, so that's why I didn't count him. But I do love Storm Shadow. But that's my top 5, man. Top 5 favorite villains. Boom.
Boom. Right. So there's one more honorable mention that I wanted to give. Nigga, shout out to Bolo from
from Bloodsport.
From any movie ever. Bolo from Bloodsport. Bolo from Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon, bro. Enter the Dragon, Bloodsport.
Right, dog.
He's in another movie. Okay, so I like Jim Kelly, right?
Shout out to Jim Kelly.
Shout out to Jim Kelly. He's in a Jim Kelly movie. I cannot, for the life of me, remember what the name of the movie is right now, but I believe it was kind of the movie that ended up being like the source material for like Rush Hour.
Really? I'm not up on that.
Yeah, bro. And
was he like the Jackie Chan character?
No, Jim Kelly was the like Chris Tucker.
Chris
type
Tucker.
Of the cop,
well, I'm saying was Bolo the Jackie Chan character?
That's what I am trying to remember because I actually think that he was.
That's fire. That sounds like a dope ass movie.
Man, what is the name of this movie, bro? Because this is gonna bother me now.
Shout out to Rush Hour. That shit was secretly like a fire ass movie.
Bro, the Rush Hour movies hold up. They're hilarious. And
it's some dope ass fighting.
I was gonna say they're actually pretty good, man.
Yeah. Jackie Chan. Look, Jackie Chan's legit, bro. Jackie Chan is in my opinion.
We always talk about that, bro. Don't get you know what I mean? Don't let Rush Hour fool you. You know what I'm saying? Like Jackie he was old by the time he was doing Rush Hour, bro. Like he was old. So the movie is called Tattoo Connection. That's the name of the movie. That's a
fire ass title too.
Yeah, bro. Tattoo Connection. That's the name of the movie. Bolo he's in it. He's a bad guy in the movie though. And that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, bro, Tattoo Connection, Jim Kelly, you know, right amount of cheesy 70s kung fu movie, right amount of like blaxploitation, and then you got Jim Kelly and Bolo, man. So it's Bolo. It's dope. Bolo.
I love when right, nigga, Bolo break your shit in half. My favorite thing about Bolo is that in Enter the Dragon, when the main bad guy when Han would call his name, Bolo would answer with a grunt. Bolo. Rah. Fuck with Bolo, dog.
Shout out to Tong Po from Kickboxer too. He was a dirtbag, but still, you know, Tong Po was out there throwing them knees.
Right, right.
Yeah, man. Shout out to any Van Damme movie. Period. Yep. I love Van Damme, dog. But yeah, bro, that's it. You got anything you want to put me on before we get out of here?
I'm gonna save it for our next episode because I'm gonna share what I've been into as the thing that I want to put you on next episode because it's fucking. I'll give you what it's called. It's called Devs. It's a show on Hulu. Okay. And motherfucking goddamn it, that shit is. That shit is sweaty, dog.
Word. Okay.
It's bruh. Okay. You need to. I can't even begin to describe it. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Nick Milks. He's up on it too. I discovered that he was on it too, and we talked about it. So
Nick Milks is the homie. He is a really good battle rapper. He goes by the name of Manifesto, and he's a very good friend of mine. We kind of bond over like pro wrestling, but this guy is also like a film guru, man, and shows. Like if you're looking for like a show or a movie to watch, like this guy has it. You know what I mean? So shout out to Nick, man, and shout out to y'all for listening. And do not forget, tomorrow at 7 p.m., me and Hero are giving you guys a live set. Hit up patreon.com/Novelist. If you got the app, just look up Novelist. Become a patron, and you can watch the set, man. You know, so tomorrow at 7, tune in. We love y'all. Thank you. Peace.
My word is my sword, Hokage Tosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the Swordcast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the Swordcast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the Swordcast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.